Hello there, DC fans. I'm Greg.
I'm John.
Monday morning, and we got a 20 or 30-second tease here for Birds of Prey. And because we ignored the Ghostbusters one, which I just know every comment's going to be about this one, so might as well check it out. But I feel like we might even get a look at the cast at least. So I'm like, this might actually be well worth it in the end. Before we do that, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been downloading and following us over at the Stardust app, people. Over there, we do 30-second reactions for any film, TV show, or trailer. A lot of times we do little micro sketches, post daily. It's so much fun. People have fun. You should have fun with us too. Cool. Whoa.
Wow.
Gonna have to slow this down. This is meant to be slowed down. Oh yeah. Okay.
This is our time.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what we can recognize. I'm not going to pretend to be like a Birds of Prey expert by any means, but there are some characters in here that I am excited for that I'm familiar with from other properties or some appearances that I've seen in other DC comics before. When you really, really slow this down, the only ones I really recognize or that I'm aware of that they're casting, because I haven't really been following the news here, you do get a good look at Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress, who is one of the OG Birds of Prey. Oh, yeah. That's very exciting. I didn't even think Huntress was actually on the Birds of Prey WB show when that was out, which was a really good show. And you got Rosie Perez in here, who's going to be Detective Renee Montoya, which I heard about, which I think is fun because she's actually a really funny woman. I wonder if she's going to, looks like such a serious role here. And of course, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Ewan McGregor is actually, I know this is like, female director, Birds of Prey, female-led group, but the one I'm personally most excited for, because I'm a man, because it's all testosterone, is Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. Black Mask is one of the biggest Batman villains, and this is all in the Bat world, essentially. He actually has a black mask. But, of course, when you're going to have Ewan McGregor here, you got to show the sexy Ewan McGregor face.
Oh, yeah.
And I think at this one point, with the Gotham cast on, I think that is Cassandra Cain, who is one of the Batgirls. It's not Barbara Gordon. I think forever ago, what I heard was that the Birds of Prey are assembling and they gotta go rescue Cassandra Cain. I was very curious to try to get a good look at Black Canary in this one.
Dina Drake.
Because Black Canary is a character that appears heavily in the Arrow show, a couple of different versions of her in the Arrow show as well. I know that's not exactly 100% comics accurate in there. I always like it when I'm like, there's a TV version that I'm very much familiar with, and now we can also get the live action version. So I was really hoping to get a cool look at her. I imagine that with the canary cry, the power that she has, that works really well in the show, how much cooler that would actually be in a movie with a big freaking budget like that.
Oh yeah, when I like they're hinting at it, they got her on a mic here and stuff like that, which is a nice parallel with the singing and stuff.
And then you got Chris Messina here as Victor Zsasz, who I didn't become familiar with until I was watching the Gotham show, who's this like super lethal assassin. I was like so fascinated by the character on Gotham. I'm like, was he a comics character? That I was like looking him up. And he is. I don't imagine this film will be R-rated, but one thing about the Gotham show that really surprised me is how violent that show can get. And Victor Zsasz is a ruthless killer, and he is someone who I'm very much excited to see brought into the big screen. Another character who is on a TV show, but now is being brought into the DC Extended Universe films.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see Chris Messina get to sink into a role more like this, where he's probably going to get to play more of a character. I mean, the first time we watched this teaser, I didn't even recognize his face with that blonde hair and the like silver teeth or whatever. And I like what that guy does, so I'm excited to see him get to play a more like eccentric, wild kind of Gotham City character,
What this looks like to me is a giant test screening footage. Or like,
this is just an announcement that we started filming.
Yeah.
We had everybody on set and we got them in a soundstage and we're like, let's make something that gets people excited.
Yeah, and in terms of, it's not a real trailer by any stretch. It's test footage of what these actors look like in character. But in a weird way, I think that's actually more exciting. I like this more than whatever that Ghostbusters tease was, because you're actually getting a look at these actors and what they're essentially going for within the roles. And the fact that the cast is actually all officially here, it gets you excited knowing, oh, they're actually really making this. DC tends to have a billion films announced ahead of time, and you don't know which ones are actually going to get made. And then looking at this and the return of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, I think there's plenty to get excited about. And they also have, I think Kathy Yan is her name, who's directing this movie.
Yep.
I haven't seen her other films, but, this is the female-led time. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I don't know if they get to make these, but I feel like these, announcement teasers are actually kind of cool because you get like a brief taste of what the movie might be like. I mean, I don't know if this is completely the visual aesthetic they're going for, but I imagine there will be some of this neon, some of these
Annapurna vibe?
Yeah, and these like close-up, backlit shots and stuff like that. I don't know. It's a teaser with a lot of style, and it seems like they're at least trying to get some of that across, of what the movie might be like. I imagine you want this to have the attitude your movie is going to have, and I feel like it does have a pretty fun and intriguing attitude. And I mean, props to Margot Robbie because this is like her baby.
Yeah, she's producing this one.
Producing this.
I heard that this plot that they have is actually taken from what Gavin O'Connor was going to do with Suicide Squad 2, which I find kind of funny how she sort of just borrowed this and brought it over here.
Hey, if you're one of the things in the DCEU that has momentum, you use whatever.
Oh yeah, Aquaman will show up in here. It'll be great.
Yeah, no, because he's the highest grossing DC guy of all time now.
I think it's funny how because the Joker footage was released online of Joaquin Phoenix. Now they're doing this. It's like their new version of marketing.
Their thing, yeah.
And I think with comic book characters being brought to the big screen in a new version, I feel like that's actually works. I feel like if it was a sequel, it wouldn't work. But if they're brand new characters or a new reimagining of them with a different actors in mind, excluding Margot Robbie, I feel like there is something to actually get a little bit excited about.
I feel like right now is the Wild West for DC in a weird way because you have these strange hits and misses, and that they love to course correct, or at least they're very on top of doing that. So yeah, I feel like you can take something familiar from Suicide Squad like Harley Quinn, but make a lot of necessary changes and things like that. I feel like they're in a place where they are using parts of their continuity, but they're also not beholden to their continuity anymore. So this could be pretty exciting.
If I have one complaint about everything I've heard so far is why is the title so freaking long? I did not know this till I was pulling it up just now.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Is that a comic book title? Because to me that kind of sounds like a desperation thing to try to make it go, well, no one's going to really know who these other people are, but they might know who Harley Quinn is, so let's put Harley Quinn's name in the title in a way that doesn't just sound like Birds of Prey led by Harley Quinn,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the physical formation of the title feels like they gave it to Harley Quinn and said, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
Which, in that way, I'm like, okay, props. But in the other sense, I'm like, I very much wonder if that is why.
Simultaneously, there is that flip side to me where I'm like, I really like the commitment to how weird of an extended time. That is such a weird extension of a title.
Yeah, it's like Borat.
Yeah, that's what you got. I kind of appreciate it because it could have been something that just sounds cliche or whatever, but that to me sounds like some strange comic book. So I actually really like that. And one part of me is kind of cynical, and the other part of me really admires it. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, before we wrap this up, we shot we thought there was a Shazam trailer coming out last week, so we did a Patron of the Day shout out for a man named Taylor Bentley. And we recorded it in advance because we were like, okay, if we record this in advance, we can get that trailer up. We were thinking ahead of the game. Trailer did not drop, but we have that footage. Roll it! And before we wrap this video up, I'd like to give a Patron of the Day shout out to a handsome young man named Taylor Bentley. I don't know if you know this. You know how Shazam is actually an acronym for all the Greek gods? Well, Taylor is, oh yeah, John, that's a fact.
That's
news to me. And Taylor is an acronym as well for many things. T stands for
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. A for Apple, after Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter. Y for Yahweh, because he's that lordy.
Oh yeah.
L for Lord, because he's that Yahweh. O for Octavia Spencer. He's a big fan.
Definitely, yeah.
And R for Kevin Spacey, because he's weird.
Yeah.
So Taylor, Happy to give you a shout out, buddy. All right, guys. Well, you can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell, and you can check us out on the Stardust app. Download it. It's free to download, free to use, and we post daily. So do it now.